When I say YouTube has been the best decision I've made as an introvert, well, I mean it.
I dipped in this town a few days ago.
It's just given me a space to be someone I never knew existed.
You know I love her so.
I mean, who would have thought I'd be willing to show people my life?
Upon the hill and I'm behind the rain. But that's what they did. They call me Big Bad John. They call me Big Bad John. They call me Big Bad John. I don't give a if they do. You know I walked in the room with my coat on.
First of all, can we just give a round of applause for that intro? I mean, that was probably one of the best intros I've ever done. Well, the most fun I've ever done with an intro. It just felt kind of freeing in a weird way. Anyways, if I do sound a little bit nasally right now, I have been sick for a couple of days now, which sucks. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like being sick. I just have too many things going on. So with that being said, bear with me. You know, YouTube has honestly changed my life as an introvert. And as you've seen from my last couple of videos, I have been doing this content stuff for a couple of years now, but it's just a little bit different on other platforms. You know, I feel like on those other platforms that I do create for, I kind of hide under a character. And with YouTube really forces me and forces a lot of people just to be themselves, which is a good thing. And I feel like once you're forced to be yourself, it really opens you up to be a little bit more vulnerable and to just do a lot of things outside of your comfort zone. So I think it is safe for me to say that YouTube so far has really changed my life as an introvert. And I'm sure it can change your life as an extrovert as well, but that's just not me. It's just honestly so crazy how a platform like this can really just open your third eye, as they say, and to help you discover who you really are, if you don't already know, which was kind of me. But since we're on the topic of YouTube changing lives and being vulnerable and being yourself, as you know, I like to share bits and pieces of my personal life with you when I do have things going on, of course. And lucky for you, I have some stuff going on this weekend. Well, like two things. Katie actually has a women's conference this entire weekend with one of her friends. And as for me, I just have to dog sit Tino and help Emerald with one of his videos, which I should probably get going now.
I need your help.
With what?
TikTok and Instagram.
Okay.
You know, it's crazy to see how far I've come, especially as an introvert who also creates content. I mean, if I look back a couple of years ago, I would have never seen myself here in public recording with Emerald, which, by the way, he's making a film. Go check him out on TikTok. It's called The Silent Battle on Instagram and TikTok, sorry. But it's just amazing to see how far you can push yourself, especially if you just simply try. And I wanted to target this video specifically on YouTube because YouTube kind of pushes you a little bit more than other platforms simply because it's longer videos. But other than that, I mean, I feel like all platforms can push you, especially if you are an introvert. But as we wrap this scene up, I'm here with Emerald and we are wrapping up his short film. And yeah, so we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. So me and Tino decided to take a break. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to walk a puppy on a leash. It's just, it's a disaster sometimes. But the more we do it, the better we get. Kinda. But it's just like YouTube, right? I feel like the more you throw yourself out there, the better it gets and the more easy it is and the more bound you are to kind of do it, you know? I feel like with YouTube, it's really just allowed me to be a better version of myself. And I guess it does kind of sound like a stretch, but I don't know, if you're in the same position as me and just kind of putting yourself out there, it does feel, you know, very life-changing-ish. And I'm not saying YouTube's the only reason I'm out here walking my little puppy, but YouTube has really allowed me to just try different things and want to go out and do new things, you know? And although some of it is kind of hard, at the end of the day, it's really fun and satisfying once it's all said and done. But with that being said, it looks like me and Tino are officially done with this walk. My arm's kind of tired from holding this camera and kind of keeping him under control. So looks like we got to go home.
I don't know about you guys, or actually I don't know about anybody who likes to be sick. Also, excuse Mr. Tino, man. He likes to bite my fingers, which is probably not a good thing. You know, I've honestly enjoyed every second, every moment, every month, week, or whatever here on YouTube. And it's just truly eye-opening. I just love places that allow you to just be who you are, or that, you know, push you to be that person who you naturally are. And the cool thing about that is that the more you are, the more you get rewarded. I mean, who doesn't like to get rewarded by being who they are, by being you? You know, you shouldn't hold yourself back, especially if you are someone who's just, you know, considered a homebody or an introvert. Push yourself to those limits and really see how far you can go as a person. And that's why I recommend YouTube to a lot of people. You know, if you love to be creative and you love to do camera work, try it out. You know, YouTube doesn't necessarily have to be a place where everybody has to make it or be successful in terms of like having it for a job or making money. You know, YouTube can just be a place to get you out of your comfort zone and take you to that next level. And I think once you see it that way, things start to make sense and it just kind of gets a little easier for you. If you guys have been enjoying this series, lucky for you, I've made an entire playlist from video number 1 all the way into video number 13. And yes, we do need a round of applause because this is video number 13. You know, it's funny because I was just talking to Katie how 13 doesn't really sound like a lot. Last week it sounded like a lot when I said 12, but for some reason 13 doesn't, which is good for me because it pushes me to make 26. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and Tino and for bearing through my nasally voice as I recover from this sickness. Hopefully next week I'm just all recovered and we can kind of communicate in a better way. If you enjoyed this video, do us a favor and hit that like button. And if you like this video a lot, go follow the playlist. But with that being said, as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.